All right, team, here we go. Let's get into this lesson. Another mini lesson. I don't want to break this down too much, but just enough, right? So I'm not going to do 20, 30-minute little lesson. This is to keep up with those mini lessons that I've been doing. So a good 5 to 10 minutes. And that should all this to take. This should be pretty simple to see. Now, yes, getting it and understanding it is a different story, 100%. But I do want to get into these plays. Now, the first thing I do want to get into is what I'm doing in shorting in pre-market, team. Do you notice that when a play goes from $3 all the way up to $5.20 and that VWAP is immediately catching the play? Look what happens when you crack that VWAP. Buy, right? Real quickly, CASI. This was today's play. We'll go back to Cassie. You can see what I was wanting. Trend line crack. It's all the VWAP's caught it. We go from 5 to 9, and that VWAP is all up in its right up in its grill. Every time. Short it. I'm telling you. All right? It's like I am a 90% trader plus over the past year, essentially. Right at it for over that for the past half year. This setup, I am probably a 97 to 99% trader. It might be 100%. I know I have people in chat to vouch for it. Now to the key of this lesson. The upper and lower VWAP bands. Okay, check out Microsoft. You're going to go, you shorted that where? After how much of a pullback? Microsoft opens at 414. It is tanking away all the way down to 406. And I let everybody in chat know, yep, I bet under that bear flag, we going to tank and go for more. How do I know this? Where's that thought of, well, how do you not know it's going to go up, AK? And how far much is it going to go down? Well, here's why. Do you see that lower band just like literally running straight downhill, trying to catch up with the Roadrunner? Coyote's he's gonna get hurt. Roadrunner's winning. And so when you see that band chasing down, that short city, you're gonna go down more. It's not until you level out. Do you see how this band is leveled out? Look what the stock has finally done. Oh wow, we've leveled out. Now we can create trend lines. Now we can go back up. If that band is going down and that upper band is also going down with it on top of the fact, not sitting out sideways, it's actually going down, every single time, short it. Short it, short it, short it, short it, short it, short it. Every time. This is how I know plays have room to run. That band continues to go down. These stocks act like magnet, these price action to catch up until enough buying moves in and that band will flatten out to solidify that. Let's go to another play. I'll just pick one here randomly. I know Tesla's another good example though. Tesla, real quickly, straight out to the right. We're mostly out to the right. What's that mean? We're going to chop in these bands. When you see stocks that do this and sit in bands that are moving sideways, and I can show you a small cap play doing such right now, we will move sideways in those bands all day long. Guarantee bottom dollar. Won't change. You'll find some trades in there. Not many. These bands aren't moving. They're sideways. They're parallel to one another. That is a flat play. Think of it as soda, a pop, a cola, whatever you call them, that's been sitting out for about a day or two. That's these plays. Let's go back to Tesla. Check out what happens when these bands start to move apart. Talked about this in the last week or two. Kind of reminds me of a gorgeous lady that's got some beautiful hips. No, we talked about J-Lo. We talked about Shakira because the hips don't lie. Right? Do we need to play a little Shakira in the background right now? A little hips don't lie for all you guys and ladies out there that just want to get mesmerized by those hips. When those hips start to show and you do move apart, you get action, my friend. This is what you're looking for every single, or long. Let's go to OCEA. This doesn't have to be a shorting either. Look what we're slowly trying to do. My baby, she's slowly growing up here. She's about to finally get, hips don't lie. I don't remember the damn song, how it goes. I forgot how it goes. But hips don't lie. The hips don't lie, baby. And you can see here, this is for your opportunity to go up. The hips are moving apart. The bands, so to speak, are moving apart, right? And so you get movement. Now check it out. Bands are moving sideways, flattened out to one another. What's going to happen? Well, let's go over to DTSS. Oh, hey, Jerry. We're going to sit out sideways. You might get a shelf crack here and there, and that's, or a trend line crack, or downtrend break up, but that's where you have to use then spacing, as I call it, our profitability zones. So again, if we crack under 980, 990 here, what's to hold us up? Nothing really until the juncture here of 930 and then down. That's profitability zone. I like that trade. It's not like the lower bands right here at 950. We have room to run. I like it. Same here with OCEA. We'll go back to it. You're going to find some movement. Now again, probably a little choppier, a little flat at times, but that's where you then have to wait for good solid setups, like a long trend line, a long shelf, a long downtrend with profitability and spacing. When those bands move apart, you've got room to run, whether it's going up or it's going down. Every single day, you can go to any one of these tickers. I haven't looked at the SPY really too much. Let's go take a look at it. Well, gee freaking golly, looks a little bit like Tesla, doesn't it? We're sitting in the bands. We're chopping, baby. But when those bands move apart, the hips don't lie, okay? Let's go to NVDA because I think it's been choppy. That's why. And now you got to wait for a trend line crack, right? So you'd come in here, put a trend in, whammy. That's what you trade now. Now you know where your up and down's going to be, where your bottom and where your top's going to be, unless those bands split apart and start giving some hips. Case in point, opening bell. We saw this across the board pretty much today. Bands start moving apart. Usually, typically, the direction you go in gets a little bit bigger hip for the most time. Every once in a while, the hips will be the same size. But this will happen a lot where that, this hip's a little bigger. That's the lesson. It's really easy the more you watch it. I promise you're going to start seeing these things. And just sit back and watch it. You're not going to want to trade it at first all the time, but you're going to say, hey, I've got a trend line in right here. If I get a trend line crack, watch for a move down to this lower shadow and resistance or support, and then down to this area. And if I get down to that, I'm taking most of my profit. And then at that point, maybe we get the hips to spread apart and we get movement. You don't know where that happened for me today? Real quickly to end this was Cassie. I had profitability zone in pre-market from the trend line crack down to what? That lower band of 680, 670, which was also a bounce area and where we exploded for earlier. So I'm like, okay, that's definitely profit-taking zone. But I'm going to leave some shares because if we start moving those bands apart, we could move down even further. And we did. Bands start moving apart. Not a lot, but they do. Whammy. Same here at the opening bell. Whammy. Easy peasy. Drop a squeezy, lemon squeezy. Either way, works either way, team. You're waiting for those bands to start moving. And if they're not, they're moving sideways. You're going to chop in between them. So you're waiting for trend crack, shelf crack, downtrend break. And then again, when you really know when to trade them and you'll start watching them more like I did with Microsoft here today, and I knew there was more room down, and you're like, and you get this, I know when you guys watch me live and you're like, okay, he says more room down. All right, here we go. I don't really see it. It's because of the band. Like earlier, again, time frame really doesn't matter. Go to the 1, go to the 3, go to the 5. You'll see the same thing today on all these, right? There's the 1. Let's go to the 5. I mean, it's the same across the board, so use your favorite ones like I do. And then you're going to see, crap, we're basing out here at 406.30. If we crack that, look how much room down to the lower band, and the lower band's going down, baby! And so that's just short city for me. Over and over and over. Find another shelf here at 405. Oh, the band's continuing to go down, and we've got a lot of room to go down to it. Now, again, you're still using charting. You're still going to try to go back and find areas if you can. And then if you can't, it's like Microsoft, and it's been... I don't know. Let's just go back to a 15-day at least. It's been, whoa, look at this, right? So it's been a while since we've been through this area. I was at, 406. So I know, okay, cool. I've got room down to 405. I should have held it to 405, honestly. I mean, not 405. Not my bad. I did. I should have held it longer. That's where I got out. I should have held it longer to that. 403.85. That should have been my final target. And then when we cracked that, look, we went down even further, trying to catch that band. Watch it. The more you watch it, the better you'll get at using them. And again, when these bands base out, but you've still got a lot of profitability zone to go down, you're trading trend lines. Trend line crack, down to the next level, etc. There's your upper, lower, and VWAP lesson in how I'm using them on a day in, day out basis.